I'm going to give you guys a quick tour of the garden. This green stalk is looking quite sad, but stuff is growing. This is the first successful year I've had with these green stalks, so I've never even made it this far with them. And I do need to trellis and kind of clean them up. I'm going to work on that this weekend. I have a strawberry tower over here. I've been harvesting strawberries off of it. Another strawberry tower that needs to be cleaned up. And then this tower here has some herbs on it. I up potted a sad tomato. And then over here is my little salad bar, which is surprisingly doing really well. It only gets about maybe 4 hours of sun, but everything is growing slowly but surely. And I even have some beets that are growing over here. That is a green stalk container, but some birds were living in it. It's my parsley. I'm still going to use that parsley and clean it up. The birds have left and vacated their little nest, so I'm going to get over here and get that nice and cleaned up. In this bed here, I planted some onions. These are Alyssa Craig onions. In this bed, they are, I believe, a storage onion, a storage yellow onion. So we'll see how they do. I did plant my onions out pretty late this year, so we'll see. I'm probably going to end up getting a fall crop off of these onions, which is not a bad thing because I have onions planted throughout the garden. So I don't have to harvest them all at once and cure them all at once. Looks like some of my potato containers are ready. Stems have died back and died over, so I'm going to be harvesting these pretty soon. I have some dill that's flowering, and I need to cut this grass. Some cabbage moths got a hold of this area over here. Cauliflower that's ready for harvesting. I'm going to have to clean that very well. I have some peanuts in this container here. These are Brussels sprouts that are trying to bristle. Down here at the bottom is where they're going to come in at. So I have to pull the leaves off of the lower stem over here so that they can start bristling up. This is a cabbage. And this was supposed to have been broccoli, but I don't know what it is now. Dinosaur kale looking nice and lovely. I'm going to get some of that in the freeze dryer for soups and stews throughout the winter. This is lemongrass, which is doing very well. I'm going to harvest some of this soon for tea and other dishes. This is my Ethiopian kale, and this was my last plant. So it didn't do well at all. So I end up letting it flower and go to seed so that I can harvest the seed pods. So they're not ready yet, but they'll be ready for fall. And I'll do a fall succession of Ethiopian kale. I'm not sure on what this is. This might be 1,000-head kale. Not really sure. I believe these are champion collards, which these are ready to harvest for sure. I really don't even like when they get this big, just because I dislike cutting the stem and all of that. We have some cabbages back here in the back, which have not been attacked by cabbage moths. Look at that dragonfly. Pretty cool. Right here is a pepper plant, which I need to trellis. I have done a terrible job with trellising this year, but this is one of my better pepper plants. My peppers do not look good this season. Very stunted, very nitrogen deficient. As you can see, just very, very yellow. They need some nitrogen. Over here is just a mixed container of onions and herbs. And then I have more cabbages over here. Hopefully these will be ready soon. I am so ready for some homegrown cabbage. And then that's a Savoy cabbage there. Over here is my green bean tower, which again needs to be trellised. I have some trellis coming in today from Greenstock. They recently had a sale, so I'm going to work on that project all day Sunday. Over here are some tomatoes. And this year, a lot of my stuff I'm growing in containers versus raised beds because I had to track the sun. I'm new to this homestead, so I have to do a lot of sun tracking and making sure that everything's getting enough light so that the following year I'll know where to plant stuff. This is another container with some stunted plants. They're just not doing good. Like, my peppers are not doing well this year. But I'm going to take what I can get. I do prefer green peppers, so I'll be coming in harvesting the peppers that have produced, and I'm going to start dicing them up and getting them in the freezer. This is just a native bed that the previous owners had. It is so pretty. Like, I don't know what kind of flowers these are, but they are gorgeous. Okay. We have some sugar baby watermelon growing in this bed here. This is an 11-inch Vigo garden bed, and I thought this was a bush variety, and it might be, but it's growing and sprawling out all over the place. So I'm gonna get this bed in check and under control. Looks like they need some water because the leaves are a little droopy. Little baby watermelon on here. So I'm gonna take care of getting this bed together because I want to make sure that we can get watermelon this season. In this bed is some sad cucumbers. I have to get the trellis going. I have some cattle panels in the grass somewhere. I'm gonna get those up. And then I have radishes down here. Radishes help repel that cucumber beetle, so I like to companion plant the radishes with the cucumbers. That's the only thing that I have tried that worked for repelling the cucumber beetle. I have some beans I threw in over here, some more cucumbers, and some small variety watermelon. I want to say lemon drop watermelon is over here. Golden midget watermelon. Those are zinnias. Over here, I have some tomatoes and some peppers. These are paprika peppers so that I can make some homemade paprika. Hey! Sorry, my dogs decided to take off. You guys see them? Running after the neighbors. Here are some peas. I'm going to get these pulled out. My peas did okay this year. We're not big pea eaters anyway, so I have just enough to put in like chicken noodle soup and stuff like that. But I love these Vigo containers. Comes with a trellis, and the plants just sprawl and crawl up the trellis. I have some trellises back there I need to put up for the tomatoes. And these are a variety of heirloom tomatoes. Paul Robeson, something zebra, mortgage lifter, and berries crazy. In this bed over here, I have some squash plants. some Thelma winter squash. Never had it before. And some Jack B. Little pumpkins for the pumpkins. And then another early sugar pie pumpkin so that I can make pumpkin puree for the dogs. So that is my 2025 garden here on the homestead, the new homestead. I still own the other property, and I have some other stuff growing over there because the soil is just amazing. I had to do a lot of reusing of soil, and I couldn't really get the best soil brought in over here, so I'm just using what I have, which is stuff from the big box store. And my plants are struggling with the soil that I got from the box store, the big box store. So I forgot to show you guys this bed. I have some eggplant. Again, everything is just struggling, guys. Nitrogen deficient. I need to fertilize this garden. I haven't done that in forever. Celery back there in that container. Tons and tons of flowers, calendula, zinnias that are doing lovely. And then over here are my Sugar Rush peach peppers, which are my favorite peppers. And they are prolific. So I'm hoping to get a really nice year supply of those peppers. And then I have dahlias over here and some fennel. So this concludes the garden tour for this month. It is June, and I will try to do a better job at posting. Life has been lifing, and you know, honestly, I've just been taking a lot of breaks from social media and wanting to just take on as little as possible. So I will keep you guys posted on the garden, and I hope your gardens are thriving and doing well. See you all in the next video. Happy gardening.